It was.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. I hope that all of you are doing wonderfully today. We have a very wholesome, not spicy at all. Nalfian's forehead is just on the stream. I forgot to change that.
Oh my god.
Hilarious.
It's spicy now.
So we've got quite the session for you today, but we're going to go ahead and roll the intro and then dive in.
It's spelled like Yogi Bear says it.
That's how I spell picnic.
Hey, boo boo.
Well, wonderful. So, John, take it away. We're back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Tales of Evrand. We're gonna jump right into this game. As tradition on RWA, us Dungeon Masters, we don't do summary. That shit's lame. That's for the players. So Nick,
But you did do it last time.
it was pseudo. Nick, as Gak. Please.
Hello. So real quick before I start, do you guys know that feeling back in school when class would start and the teacher would stand up and say, "All right, let's just go ahead and bring out the assignment right now and we're going to start passing them forward." And you go, "Oh, no. Why didn't I do the assignment?"
I think I see where you're going with this one.
Yeah, I felt that way all like 3 times today. I was like, I'm on summary tonight. And as soon as the intro rolled, I went, "Oh God. oh no." Luckily, so I'm not going to do it in character, but I am going to recap it. So this was last session, which was the final chapter of Book 4. Finally, the end of a long arc against the Blackmoors. So last session, we started in the middle of combat. We had done plan by bitch at the end of the previous session and really fucked with Oberyon. And then he came back with vengeance. So the combat started, and it was one of the most fun combat sessions I've ever had, honestly. But a lot of people went down. A lot of people were brought back. Basil resurrected people. But in the end, we got Oberyon Blackmore, Yrsa with the final killing blow, and then turning his body into a bunch of roses, which was fucking sick as hell, dude.
Yeah.
It was really sick. It was really sick. Gabe showed up. Gabriel, his son, showed up and helped fight. We were able to save Celia. We didn't do it, but the crew was able to save Celia from being kidnapped. Everything really all came together. The runes that Gak had seen and had not told people, because he didn't know what they did, it didn't really matter, caused the manor to fall apart and break down, which it seems like our party has a pretty good history of being near a Blackmore manor as it implodes.
It's their calling card.
Yeah, it's the calling card. Honestly, it feels like I'm forgetting something, but it was just a lot of combat and wrapping up last session, which is why like nobody took notes because we were like, yeah, we fought him and he died.
I didn't take notes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was no notes.
Think
it was just crazy.
That is a good recap.
Yeah.
I mean, there was combat. Oberyn died.
It was awesome. Go watch it.
Yeah.
And welcome to Book 5, everybody.
Book 5, guys.
It's a new arc. It's a new day.
It's a new day. Sorry. So,
Yes, it is.
yes, it is.
Don't you
so-
dare be sour.
Diving back
Hello.
into the game. After leaving the castle, heading down through Limgrove and seeing everyone's disposition, the townsfolk, the individuals that helped siege the city itself. You all do board one of the ships that is set to return to Shredina. You see that all of these ships ahead of you on the docks are mostly colored completely black. The sails, the hull, everything. There are no banners. There are no insignias. They are unmarked, and that is for a reason. You had seen individuals that looked like guards that were dressed in all black with long black cloaks and helmets. The metal also looking very obsidian looking, dwarves, elves, knowing that these are the individuals from Shredina who helped. But as you board the ship, you board it not with just your party, you board it with Grandma and Ulfric and the other one. I forget her name. Zovak? I know him.
We called her Terry for short. So
Terry. Yep. That's what it was. Well, now I want to know.
Tori.
Yeah, Tori Torelli Corsair. Yes. Okay. Cool. It takes a couple hours for you all to get settled in, for them to put everything to rest outside as well. I mean, you guys did just siege a city, kill Oberyn, and now we're just leaving. You left Gabriel behind, knowing that also Celia is around. She's probably somewhere recovering. But you aboard the ship. It is midday. It is probably around 3 or 4 p.m. at this point. But we board the ship.
Sorry, Jonathan, I do not mean to be that guy, but no vision, we cannot see.
It's okay, because, sometimes I forget to do it. Boom, ship.
That's a ship.
That's a ship. Except it's got white sails. But, sometimes you can't find the image you want.
Holy
ship. Yep. So, Secrets of Insomnia. Before this ship takes off, before these sails are unfurled, is there anything you guys want to do at all before leaving Isle Blackmore?
Oh, I felt like there was, but I don't know now.
Fireball?
Burn the place down. Man. Did we talk about something as a party to do? I don't remember. It might have just been making sure our pals were safe, which we have confirmation.
I think that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
Mostly. I can't think of anything else.
No, I think we were just in a hurry to get out of here, to be honest.
Okay. So, you board the ship, and it starts to sail. Let me do some stuff real quick. Yeah. You sail for about an hour or two as the darkness starts to set. Around you is nothing but open ocean. Just barely in the distance, you can see what you would assume would be Shredina. But you have a day. So I leave it up to you, to the party. You guys have time to yourselves. You're on a ship, sailing for an entire day. What would you like to do?
I mean, I like at least to think for that kind of first afternoon, because we went after Oberyn right in the morning, right? So we'd be boarding the ship in the afternoon, and then we'd get to Shredina the next afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think for that, at least for the first couple hours, Rian has just taken some time to himself to, like just think and compartmentalize, and probably still has a little bit of fogginess of brain right now from feeble wine. So for the first little bit, he's gonna hold off. But yeah, so I'll leave it open to somebody else. But Rian at least is gonna be sitting near the sort of bow of the ship, just sort of taking in nature.
Okay.
I would say the same for Yrsa. I feel like the bramble and the thorns that have kind of sprouted around her, they're still very much there. They've just kind of retracted a bit from around her hands. And I would say that she's probably placed herself somewhere towards the back of the ship. She
Okay.
doesn't really want to be around anybody right now. But I feel like she would have tried to find like a piece of like parchment or something, and she's kind of writing something over and over. But she's kind
Okay.
of hyper focused on.
Okay. I will say, Yrsa, being on the ship, there is, even with everything that has gone on, there is this slight sense of safety. You were surrounded by nothing but nature at this point. You were surrounded by water and wind, and you can see just barely birds flying overhead, and it is nice to finally be somewhere that is so far away from civilization.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, where it does feel like it's more like you can breathe out here, I feel like a lot of that stuff would maybe retract a little bit more, and it's almost like she's rooted herself to the boat as the little branches kind of make a little garden of flowers around her as she just kind of sits, and she'll set herself a little garden up on the rear of the boat.
Okay. Awesome. Everybody else? Yep.
Is it possible for Basil to like go up into one of the crow's nest?
Yeah.
I think she would have gone up there sometime after the boat had left the port. And she'd just be standing up there, let the wind kind of push through her hair and her dress, and she would just be blabbing to her mom. She would have been like, you don't have to answer, but here's what happened. And so I did this, and then this happened, and then they did this, but then I did this. Like, kind of giving her a whole recap of what happened.
Okay. Oh no, I can't reach the server.
Yeah.
Break
Yeah,
the
it
died
just-
cage
on me
down.
too.
I
Wow.
thought it was just me.
Nope.
it says talesofevernd.com
Refused to
30,000
connect.
no.
Yeah.
That's the URL says no.
It's
No.
okay.
No.
It's
That's okay. It's a role playing session.
Yeah, no, totally.
I was just digging
Where's
the
our
ambience though.
music?
It was that was a vibe.
I know,
needed
it was
that today.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Everyone
we'll
watching on Twitch, look up a video of ocean waves on YouTube.
I got you.
Well, we can continue until
I'll do the
Yeah.
work for you, stream. No big deal. I got you.
I don't know what happened. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is the one. There we go. That should work. What?
no.
Yep.
There we
I
go.
just
Oh
refreshed.
yeah.
What
Oh,
the
Hell
hell?
yeah.
Woohoo! What the?
I mean, that's pretty
Oh,
impressive. I don't
really?
think the servers crashed for like a good month.
Mhm.
I don't think it's
Alright,
ever
cool.
crashed with us all on it like that before either.
Yeah, this server just
Yeah.
broke. Good thing I own it, so I can just fix it.
Good job, John.
More like talesofeverend.com :30,000/yes.
Yeah. No,
Got 'em.
it says /game right now, John. Nick. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right.
Yeah, it's okay. So, technical difficulties aside, yes, you can just start rambling off to the Raven Queen, being in the crow's nest. Yes, there is no physical or mental, like, you don't hear her or you
Mhm.
don't see any ravens. I mean, you guys are on the open ocean at this point.
Right.
However, there is that sense that she is listening
Mhm.
and she is watching. So you can know that she is hearing your message.
Mhm. Basil's kind of come to terms with what her mom said, and her being the stubborn girl she is. She's like, it's okay because I'm going to go talk to the gods and they're going to listen to me. And we're going to live together forever.
Awesome. Okay.
That's it.
So Basil is up in the crow's nest. Yrsa is in the back of the ship, writing down on a piece of paper. Where was Rian again?
On the bow of the ship, headed for a new land.
Cool.
He is on the bow of the ship, though.
Okay. So I guess Umbra or Gak?
Gak was probably he's probably wandering around, but like not going up to anybody, but he's like looking where all of his friends are and just trying to like make sure they're all okay. Yeah. Oh, there is something he wanted to do though. Yeah. So as he's kind of walking around, where is Umbra?
Yeah, I think she's the least bothered right now. So I think she's just chilling on the deck, taking in like the nature and the sky. Maybe she had just finished a conversation with Grandma, just kind of recounting like what had happened, but she's kind of just hanging out.
Okay. Gak will probably he'll slowly approach Umbra, and he'll like tap her on the shoulder.
Yes.
I was wondering if we could talk by ourselves for a second.
Yeah, sure. And she'll just kind of like step away from Grandma and just to, I guess, a more secluded area on the deck. You okay?
Yeah.
Gak like looks off the side of the ship, just staring. But he eventually turns around and he goes,
So, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Back at the castle, when you were talking to Gabriel, I wasn't trying to listen, because I don't like to listen to other people when I'm not involved in it, but I did hear because you were talking a little bit loud. So you told Gabe that you told him your name was Enid.
Yes.
Why?
And she also like then like looks out and says, times you need to protect yourself, and it is important to make sure people don't really know who you are. And it's not that I don't want to trust you all, but, you know, it was a business exchange, and so I'm using my business name with you all. However, I don't know if I'll ever see that Gabriel fellow, and I guess I kind of felt for him a little bit in that moment, and it felt a little... Didn't feel right to use my business name when introducing myself when we weren't having a business exchange.
Okay.
If you don't mind keeping that just between us, I would appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. I'll keep it between us. So, if I'll ask another question. So that's your real name, or is Umber your real name?
Enid is the first given name that I ever had.
Okay. And you still want to go by Umber?
Yes, I do. Umbra's they're both me. It's just one's more of my, I don't know to say public persona, but more of my business. When I want people to know who I am, that is the name I use, and a more personal name is my first name.
Okay. Should I have a business name?
That depends. Are you wanting to kind of protect yourself in any way? Do you feel like you need to hide a piece of yourself?
Yeah. There's always stuff you gotta keep secret. Well, I know one of your secrets. You want to know one of my secrets?
Yeah.
So,
Cackle, look around.
so I'm a pirate.
Really?
Yeah.
Which crew? I know a few pirates. It's okay. You can keep that part a secret if you want.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm part of Dio's crew.
Mm.
Whatever his crew's name is, that's one that I'm in that one.
All right. Yeah. A little familiar with Dio's crew.
Oh, cool. Do they have a name?
It's just Dio and friends.
Nope. Just Dio's crew.
Oh, maybe I could talk to him and we could come up with a name.
Branding might help him.
Yeah,
Potentially.
that's true. Maybe he needs a business name.
He definitely could use a business name.
And you know, when I first met him, I didn't realize that there weren't a lot of people who looked like him. Because pretty much everyone I was seeing was like me seeing people for the first time. So like, maybe he needs like a business like look, or the opposite. I feel like the look he has would be his business look, and it's also his personal look. But maybe he needs like a way to not look the way he does.
That's an interesting idea. That's something we can definitely discuss with him. See what he's open to.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much open to anything. He's a great guy.
So you mentioned you kind of were meeting a lot of people for the first time when you met Dio. How long have you known him?
Oh, so you know how long I've known you?
Mm-hmm.
I knew Dio for like that amount of time. And then I knew him for longer. And we were on a boat. And then he went to Eldon. I went the other way. And I met people that way. And then I got to a town. And then I met all these people.
Would you say it was... So by the amount of time you've been alive, would you say that it's the smallest portion of time you've spent meeting Dio to now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my mom said I'm 33.
And where is your family from?
I'm from Siri.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where? Do you remember where?
Yeah, it's my lake.
Hmm. She is a little unsure on how. Was your
I
lake
have a map.
north?
I have a
Wait.
map.
And he
Oh,
Jack
great.
starts pulling out the map.
Okay.
And he points to a spot on the map. And I was trying to switch over to the Evrand map section on Foundry, but it wasn't working for me. Oh, here it is.
Wait,
And he points to where Janu is and the Mushrik sun that's underneath the sun spires. And his finger trails over to the right where there's a little lake surrounded by trees. He just goes,
That's my house.
Oh, wow. John, would she know anything about that area or no?
Let's see. About Janu, yes. Janu is the second largest city in Siri. Not only because of trade and travel, because it is home to the Mushrik Sun, which is the largest college of Arcanum in the entire world. It is a multifaceted college of every single type of magic that there is, that specializes in each one of them. It is the epicenter of knowledge, of learning. So you would know that of Janu. Have you ever been there? Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's very interesting to know where you're from.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy you got on a boat with Dio and then ended up here.
Yeah, that's how I became a pirate. Because I didn't know it at the time, but I was stealing a boat. I
Wow.
think secretly Dio just needed someone's help to steal a boat. And he chose me because he thought that I was the best boat stealer.
You're definitely
think-
better than him, so.
Yeah, I think so too. He gets like in trouble when he steals a boat, and I've done it once and I've been fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have another question.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where you have the the book, your spell book on you, but she'll like tap it with her finger and be like, "That's very interesting."
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is my spell book. It is what I cast spells with. And all my spells are in it.
I've never seen anything like that. Could she tell that he's a little like closed off about the book?
yeah, he's not going into specifics. You can't tell, or Umber can't tell if that's Gak being closed off or if it's Gak just leaving out information.
Yeah, okay. And how did you get this spell book? Was it your family's? Did you go to Janu?
I found it in the woods by my house. There was a couple spells in it, but over time more spells showed up, and it it's been good. I'll show you the inside real quick.
Sure.
And when Gak opens up his spell book, Umbra sees that there's no words in it, and that it is all runic circles, and inside of the runic circles there are stick figure drawings with different colors.
I found out that most wizards have books that have words in them. But when I found mine didn't have any words in them, and they still don't.
Well, I don't know much about the books with words, and I don't know much about the books with drawings, but you do a great job with this.
Thank you. Thank you.
What made you leave your family?
Well, I've had this book for a while, for a lot longer than I've not been at my lake, and I would always read my mom would read me stories about like heroes and people who would save people and stuff like that, and a lot of them would be able to do magic and stuff like that, and I was able to do magic with the book. So I went to go to Janu to try to go to the magic school, but they had a stack of papers this big, and I was at the bottom of the stack. It was going to take a long time for me to get in it. So then they were like, oh, there's another school that's over the water. And I said, okay, I'll just do that then. So I did. And I just got on a boat with Theo. I was trying to find a boat that would take me there, and then Theo just took me. We went to Woodle. So then we went to Woodle, and then we split our ways. And then I went to Riffin, and I met a cool guy. I met a cool guy, and then we went all the way up to Humberfort, and that's where I met all of these people. And then I was gonna go to Valomine to get the school there, but then I was told that it's not good to go there. So then I was going somewhere else to go to school. Then we ended up here in Ailden. I talked to the school then, and then they said that I was too good for the school, which that doesn't make much sense to me. So I guess I'm not going to school now, but
I never went to school, so honestly, in my opinion, don't need books anyway. Overrated. Learn on your feet.
that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. So clearly, we've both proven that school's unnecessary.
I will say at this point, there is one of the ship hands that kind of walks over to both of you and says, not to break up the conversation, I didn't know if anyone was hungry. We made some fresh stew.
Oh yeah.
We love
Do you
some.
want, do you want some stew?
That sounds like a great idea.
Let's go get some stew.
And as we walk back, Gak will probably go around the boat and try to let people know that there's food. Whether they choose to come or not is fine, because the food will still be there, but he just lets people know.
Yep, and the ship hand will as well. So I would say that if everybody wants to, you can make your way down to the second deck of the ship, where there is a long, well enough made wooden table for probably total 10 people at a time to sit at. Anybody who's not sitting at this table right now, that is part of the crew especially, is working on the ship. They're doing their due diligence to keep the ship going. But if you guys want to, you can sit down and have some fresh stew.
Yeah, right. Everyone get some stew.
Gotta have some stew.
Some
Is the
stew.
stew
would
good
too.
or bad?
It is decent. It is definitely soldier-made stew. But after battling a vampire, and probably not eating for 6-7 hours, pretty good.
Well, actually, I was going to say, Umbra's
Oh.
proficient in cooking utensils, and if she can sneak in, like if she gets in there first, she's
Yeah.
going to taste it and then try and sleight a hand make it better.
It definitely could use some more salt for
All
sure.
right, yeah, she's definitely going to do that then.
No roll. What's your base sleight of hand?
Oh my god. Oh, did I not? Oh wait, no, things are just in a different spot. Sleight of hand is plus 12.
Okay. So, all right. So your base is 22. Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
guess. Yeah.
Because it's 10 plus your modifier. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you see the cook is kind of like he goes over and starts chopping up some onions or whatever, and you just taste it, and then just pour some salt in there. It's
Oh,
much
yeah.
better.
You're welcome. No one knows, but you're welcome.
Is
So
there
you
meat in this stew?
there is not.
I will eat it.
It's kind of like what's wedding stew?
Oh
I don't know about
yeah.
Okay.
So good.
But I trust you. Your soul's
He
definitely
is
smell like you
lying.
should eat it.
You ate meat.
Ah,
No, not that.
don't traumatize her more.
No, yeah, you guys are able to get your stew in and sit down if you would like and start eating.
Yeah, I think
Stew's well seasoned.
after that comment, would kind of. I don't think she's touched her stew yet. But she would kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
She would take a few minutes to, I guess, stare into the void of the soup. It's such funny thing, 'cause I said to Joe today, I was like, man, sometimes I feel like I'm just shouting into the void and no one's listening. So now you're just staring into the void, just looking back at her. But she's gonna say to everyone, kind of starts off quiet. I think I just wanted to, I know I don't need to, but I am very sorry for a lot of the things that have happened over the past few days. And if I have said anything that has upset anyone, I am very sorry for that. Umbra, I feel as though I didn't even give you an opportunity to even know who I am, and this is very much not who I am. I think I am in a state of chrysalis, and I'm not sure what's gonna come out on the other side. But I appreciate all of you being very patient. Even when I don't think I deserve that. I have been doing a lot of thinking, and I still have much to do, but I wanted to express how thankful I am that you all are still allowing me to be amongst you. And again, I am very sorry for the way that I have been acting.
Rianne
Thank
will
you.
lightly touch her hand. I'm assuming they're probably sitting next to each other, if not across from each other. But he'll just kind of reach over and lay his hand on top of her hand and say, "You have nothing to be sorry for, but I still accept your apology. And for as long as you are in this chrysalis, just like how plants need to be watered every day, we will be there to water the chrysalis. You're much better at the nature analogies than I am, but we're here for you. We are.
That was a good attempt.
Attempt. He looks at Gak when he says attempt and lets out a little chuckle.
I have an ugly.
I would love to hear your nuggly.
Well, it's one you've heard before, but I just wanted to say yours. Right now, you're in your cocoon, and there's nothing that you could come out of other than a butterfly.
Thank you again.
That was a good analogy.
Thank you.
And Umbra, please, I do want to welcome you to whatever this crazy little thing we have here is. I normally am not very sharp She kind of gestures to herself.
Ah, that's all right. I'm pretty sharp, so honestly, I feel a kindred spirit here. No worries. Please, don't even think about it.
Well, thank you again, everyone. And she like opens her mouth like she wants to say more, but she's not really sure what, so she'll just sit down in front of her soup.
Gak, when you go to grab your soup, you notice the individual, the cook, looks over and goes, "Oh, you might have to wait a little bit. There's we're out of spoons."
Mm.
The good thing it's soup, we can drink it.
Good.
Gak is just kind of staring at the soup. And then he starts to pull out his book, and he turns to a page, and you see that there's like scribbles on the page that look like runes, but it's not complete. And he just kind of looks at it. He goes,
I'm gonna try something, I think.
and he takes out his little pencil or whatever, and he starts scribbling some more runes on it. And once he's done, he just kind of looks at it and holds the book out in one hand, and it very, very lightly starts to glow. And in his other hand, a spoon appears.
You all watch Gak create a spoon from nothing.
It worked.
That was very impressive, Gag.
Good job.
Thank you.
Can you make another?
Is
As she
that-
sips her bowl of soup.
Gak will give the spoon he has to Umbra.
No, I
And
mean,
he'll
no, you
look at
should
the
have
book.
your magic spoon.
He looks at the book and he tries to cast it again. And
Another spoon appears.
Yeah, another spoon appears.
2 magic spoons.
Is this? Can you conjure other items, or are you a spoonomancy mage now?
I can try.
And Gak will close his eyes and a spoon will appear in his hand.
Nope, I think it's just a spoon.
I think,
Practice, Gak. It's okay.
or it just conjures spoons, which is very helpful. Clearly,
Well, I've been, I mean, we haven't had a lot of free time, but I had an idea a long time ago about trying to like, because I've been in my life, there have been so many times where I've needed a spoon. I just
You know-
haven't had one.
me
Yeah.
too. Honestly,
So I've been kind of trying to work on this for a while, and I think I got it figured out, I guess. So
That's awesome. If the adventuring thing doesn't work out, you could be a very wealthy businessman. That's for sure.
That is
can
true.
make spoons. Do you think we could sell the spoons?
I mean, somebody's buying spoons, right? How else
true.
do they get
We
these
could-
ones?
also have you learned to make a full set of silverware? You know,
That I think that I'd have to make a different spell for that one.
yeah. Work in progress for sure.
Yeah. I just thought of a name. I thought of a name for the spoon thing.
What's the name for the spoon thing?
So I think like if other people wanted to learn how to make the spoon, they would have to know the name of it in order to make it, right? Because there's like a bunch of spells that have names.
Uh-huh.
So I think that this thing would be called Gak's Real Spoon.
At that moment, the spoon that Umbra is holding disappears.
Oh,
We'll call it.
my
we'll call-
spoon.
We'll call it Gak's temporary spoon.
Um,
You
We
have
can
the spoon.
practice to make sure it stays longer.
Yeah, I
Thank-
might need to tweak it a little bit.
I might need
Yeah.
to feed eat before this temporary spoon
Yeah,
goes
everyone
away.
eat real fast. I can also, I could probably make a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And Gak just like puts his head down and he's just holding his hand out. And very like every 30 seconds a spoon appears in his hand and he just sets it on the table.
Anyone take it if they want it.
It's all Umbra finishing her soup.
I will say, eventually after casting it a couple times, the first batch, they last for a minute. Second batch, they last for about 3 minutes. Third,
Become
5.
more permanent.
Eventually, you get it to about 30 minutes. These spoons will last.
Nice.
And then they just disappear into nothingness. They also have no value whatsoever.
Amazing.
Good.
Well, dang.
I like the idea that if you have soup in it, it'll fall out of the spoon when it disappears.
Buddy.
Splashes on it.
No, my shirt.
That was still hot. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, that was
Be.
incredible. You're just practicing.
I will say during this process, Gideon does look very intrigued and interested in the whole thing. So, is there anything else you guys want to converse about? Sitting, eating soup, watching Gak create spoons?
I don't have anything necessarily here in this moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Kirsa's pretty, like... She feels a little bit better, but she's still going to be a little bit quiet, just kind of enjoying the fact that they can just sit and have a conversation about spoons is kind of nice. They're just kind of taking a breath.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Oh, well,
Hazel's
okay.
gonna. I know we just got out of something. And I will continue to persuade you all to not partake in the next one. But I think it would be important for us to go someplace to talk about said important thing. Whenever anybody's available, but just because we are a little bit pressed for time, I want to prepare as much as possible. And also
Absolutely.
persuade you to not be involved. But that's a side thing.
Basil, I don't think any of us are going to step away from helping you.
I will continue to hope.
Who's all at this table with us?
Yeah.
Zovac is there. I will say, how many of you are there? 6. Zovac, Ulfric, Elias. Sayori is not around right now.
Due to the nature of it, because I don't think we planned to have them help out. I think this was a one and done thing for them, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel
So-
like you would want this to be as co-op
Yeah.
overt as possible.
Covert.
Yeah. So Basil's gonna look over to them, and she's gonna say, "If you must know, I'm wanting to take out my ovaries, and they're wanting to be involved. That's it."
I'm sorry?
And then Basil makes a look at Yrsa because the other people are at the table.
Zovac just goes.
So confused.
Zovac goes. You want us to leave?
No, we're going to go talk about my uterus elsewhere. But I just wanted to let them know that I would like to talk about it, but I also don't want them to be in the room.
Umbra's gonna lean over to Gak and be like, "Is she including me in this conversation? I could stay with Zovac."
I don't
Ulfric.
know. I feel like you can talk about it.
Ulfric goes. It's not really a big deal if you want us to leave. I'm
Yes,
gonna
but-
go.
It's a very touchy subject, so
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, you
And he
three
gets
count.
up. Fair.
do all of them
Uh,
get up and leave?
Elias is the last one sitting there, and he's just eating his soup. They both left, didn't they?
They did.
All right. And he just places his soup down, gets up, and walks away.
As soon as he's out of earshot, Basil turns around. I'm sorry, I just didn't want it to sound suspicious.
Right, that was the way to do it.
Basil, is your dad's name Uterus?
I think Basil was just trying to come up with a clever way to have a private conversation.
No, his name is not Uterus.
Okay.
But I appreciate you asking. It's good information to know.
So you were just making stuff up to just say
I
random
was.
stuff?
Not for no reason, contrary to what people may think. I was just making it sound like we were going to talk about something else because I don't want them to know the specifics of what we will be talking about.
Okay.
So I thought if I
Right.
brought up my uterus, they would not want to be involved, which was the goal.
Good to know.
Yes. Anyway, that aside, and she looks over to Umbra. I know you were only here for this job to receive payment, which is fine. I completely understand. So I don't expect you to be a part of this conversation, be involved in what's going on. I don't even know if there will be anything in it for you anyway. I just know that it could be dangerous, and coming out of one dangerous thing, it would feel irresponsible to expect more people to immediately jump into another one.
We kind of talked about this when we were at the Sapphire Chalice in the private room, right?
Like,
Okay.
quickly brought it up, did not go into details.
I just want to make sure she had the dots connected, though. Well, actually, there is something in it for me. I need to collect the ship logs from what seems like your father's ship. And personally, I think it might be beneficial to both of us to have a distraction maybe go in there, get him a little focused on something else. And then after he's done focusing on me, he focuses on you guys. I slip out with the ship log. You guys do your thing. Everyone's happy.
Well, you're certainly more than welcome to tag along to get what you need. And I don't know if we want to have this conversation, around other tables with other people.
Are there other people down here right now?
I mean, there are crew members and soldiers that are just walking.
Okay.
There is, I will say, there is one of the soldiers does sit down at the table and start eating his soup, because this is a commune. It's just you know, you just open seats, you
just
sit.
sat down. Like,
Yeah, he
Okay,
just sits and starts eating his soup.
Oh.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like take his spoon, throw it to across the room. Don't come back when you find it.
Please.
And he gets up.
Gak goes, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get rid of my uterus.
Oh no.
He just looks back. What the fuck? And
Please
he
just leave
keeps
me alone
walking.
while I think about it. Thank you.
Sorry. Sorry. I think we can maybe talk more about this when we get to Shredina and we have a little bit more privacy. The
Well,
only thing I would like to say, though, Basil, is I hope you don't think that there's any chance that you're going to do this alone. Looking at the people passing, will be dealing with the uterus together. And that's that.
If you want, I know a way that we could have a look to see what the uterus is up to, if you would like.
Someone who is trustworthy?
Well, I could just do it.
How so?
Yours is pretty
Ursa has
trustworthy.
scry.
Girl, I do too. Wait.
Oh, bitch, do that. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
I just got it too, but
Well, I
I
don't
think
think
it'd
it'd be
be-
as bad if it was some random broad
That's
checking
true.
on it, rather than him knowing it was
Some
you.
random green lady, yeah.
right, that's fair.
I forgot. I
think
didn't know
we
you
should
got
do
it too.
that.
I was like,
I just got it.
Me too.
As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, holy shit. I do too. Sisters.
My crying sisters. Okay, sorry.
Sisters.
Scristers.
Sisters.
If you feel... I don't know how else to say it. This uterus is struck with a very different type of problem. We just dealt with one that was so violently horrible. And many of us were severely injured. Now this new one is a whole different game. And the reason why I keep telling you all that I hope that you don't become involved, even though I know you're going to tag along anyway. I care about you all so much. And then she looks over to Umbra. I don't know you, but I'm
I
also
care
not
about
a-
you so much too.
Well, I'm not a dick, so I don't want you to also be involved. And she looks back to everybody else. And then,
It's tense.
but now she's kind of starting to feel a little fidgety. Anyway, what was I saying?
You're saying that you loved
Danger.
us?
Yes.
We can take you, let you take the lead on this, and if there's a certain way you want us to go about it, I am sure all of us will be more than happy to fall in line to whatever plan you come up with.
I would appreciate that, yes. And I think once we eventually make port and we have time, it would be easier for me to maybe prep us. Just with basic knowledge. So that, you know, we're not just getting rid of this uterus because I don't want it.
No,
Well, I'm
that's
sure you have good reason.
entirely understandable. And in all honesty, if it was just removing a shitty politician uterus from this world, that is also okay. It's not the first time I've had to do that, and I'm not afraid to do it again.
Well, I appreciate it from you all. So.
Sorry, it's Kayla's message. Funny. Talking about destroying this uterus.
Oh my gosh. Yes, so I think once we're able to, we'll sit down, have a better conversation, and go from there.
Whatever plan you come up with, we all are behind you.
Sounds good.
Another one of the soldiers comes up. Is this seat taken?
How's your uterus doing?
You can sit there. That's fine.
I'm going to
God
go.
was broken.
He walks off.
Okay.
Rightfully so.
Funny.
I don't know what everyone else has planned for the rest of the day on the ship, but I did have something I wanted to do. Basil and Umbra. Later, whenever the two of you are ready, if I could just have the two of you meet me top deck, that would be nice.
Sure.
Oh. Why?
I don't want to give too much away, but
That's okay. That's okay. Yes, sure.
I can tell you it's not painting.
I was actually going to guess painting, and you know,
No.
I wouldn't be against it, actually. It's a beautiful scenery.
A lot of blue. Yes, it's very pretty. But no, bring your weapons. And I think that's all I'll say. I have a few things I need to take care of, but again, and Rihanna look for the cook. Wonderful job with the seasoning. Really good. And Rihanna get up and walk away.
Hey, Rian,
Yeah, Gak.
real quick, am I allowed to be on the top deck even though I wasn't invited?
Yeah, you can still be there. In fact, I think you might want to be. I think it'll be fun to watch.
Okay. I don't know if I will be. I just wanted to see if I was allowed.
Open invitation.
Man, what's your passive perception?
Not very high anymore. 14.
14's. It's good enough for this. You do see Elias comes back down, walks by, gets a bowl of soup, walks up to one of the doors inside of this second deck of the ship and knocks on it, and then enters and closes the door. And then a couple minutes go by, and then he exits without the bowl of soup.
Okay. Yeah, that'll pique his interest. He won't go to the room. He'll go to Elias first, and just sort of walk up to him, and he'll just, get right to it. How's she doing?
She is doing as good as you can after, well, dying. She's sore. She's a little out of it. She's okay.
All right. Listen, you know Sayori a lot better than I do. And it does pain me to say that, all things considered, but you do. What do you think would be best for her from me? Is it better to give her space? Is it better to go and talk to her? What do you think?
I think in this moment, she hasn't been... She usually doesn't lose a fight. She's very upset. But I think if you went to her, she would appreciate it. She doesn't seem very outgoing right now.
All right. I'll speak with her. Thank you, Elias.
Of course. And, Rian. Thanks for everything. You did well in the battle, and thanks for helping keep Sayori safe.
I'm happy to do so, and thank you for everything, and keeping her safe. Or maybe it's her that keeps you safe, I'm not too sure yet.
It's a bit of both.
Good. All right. Well, sorry for kicking you out of the table earlier.
No, I didn't want in on that conversation anyways.
All right. Oh. Well, talk to you later.
All right.
Damn, dude.
I feel like you guys like accidentally walk in the same direction.
Okay, all right.
Then turn around.
I'll stand still. You walk.
Going this way.
Okay. Wait for him to pass. Bye, Elias. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I guess with that, Rian will just walk up to her door and just kind of knock.
Knock on it.
Yeah.
You hear after 20 seconds or so. Come in.
And Rian will open the door and he won't walk all the way, and he'll just kind of open it and peek his head through and say, "Are you up to talk?"
If I can do a lot of the listening.
I'll try my best. And he'll walk in and shut the door and take a seat about as out of the way as he can be in the small room.
I will say, looking at Sayori, it was definitely, everything was moving so fast, but one of her horns is broken and gone. She is bandaged. One of her eyes, because she was slammed by a stone golem, one of her golden eyes is very brass, like dark brass color now. Like basically if your eye would go bloodshot. That's what has happened to her. So she definitely looks beat up, but you can see that there's a half-eaten bowl of soup on the table next to her, as she kind of just holds her stomach, looking at you. Just, what's up?
Well, for one, I wanted to thank you. All things considered, you risked and lost a great deal by coming to help us, and that amount of selflessness, it should be admired, and I want you to know it is admired and appreciated more than you could know. So, thank you. However, there is one thing that I can There's one thing that I'm starting to recognize about the two of us that I think really solidifies that we are siblings.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
I think it's pretty clear that neither one of us like to lose. Is that fair to say?
Very, very fair to say.
It was something that it's always been a part of my life and inspired me to do things or try and go above and beyond or anything like that. And for a long time, I didn't. For a long time, I won. Day in, day out. But one day I did lose. I lost something very dear to me. And it was like from that day on, I kept losing. Day in, day out. One loss after another, just scraping by. When you start to live through loss like that, you start to realize a few things. You see, there is no shame in loss. When we make choices, those choices have consequences. To be reminded of them is not a bad thing. If we're reminded of those consequences, the next time that a situation appears, we'll be more prepared. And we won't lose. For so long, I beat myself up. I would lose day in, day out. I would suffer those consequences, and then I would torture myself over those consequences. I never tried to learn. The day that I started to learn again is the day that I started to win again. Loss happens, but it allows us to learn from our mistakes. It'll take time, not just to heal the physical wounds, but the mental scars as well. But you're strong. You have me. You have Elias. Whether you want to or not, you have the rest of my companions. You're not alone. You have people to help. I want to help.
I know. Man, who knew that my long-lost little brother would be so wise?
Little?
Yeah, we established this. I'm older.
Well, you wear the age better than me, that's for sure.
All right.
All right, listen, I don't even want to get started down that path. Every other day, I have to hear from the rest of my companions how old I look, all right?
Stop. I'm laughing and it hurts.
All right.
I appreciate the words. I do. And I understand. It's been a while since I've lost, and lost that badly. It's gonna take me a little bit. But I'll get over it.
All right.
I have to say, I misjudged you. You and your friends. I've been so bent on finding these individuals, trying to save what glimpse of our long-lost family there is. And I forgot about the rest of the world around me. Seeing that, man.
One thing I learned very recently, Sayori, is sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help somebody else.
I think I'm gonna change course a little bit. I can't save our people if people like that, like Oberyn, are out there. You're a good person.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the words. And, well, I think it's fair to say, Sayori, that a good person probably wouldn't have gone along with us to Castle Blackmore. I think it's fair to say the same thing about you.
To be honest, initially all I did that for is because that was stopping you from helping our people.
Fair. Fair.
I didn't think it was gonna go that poorly.
Well, when you're around the Seekers of Insania, you can always expect things to go at least mostly poorly, but still succeed. But believe me, you were not there for Eldar, and I don't even want to get started on that story. Well, actually, I think at that moment, we can cut there.
Yeah.
But he'll tell her the story of Eldar and make sure to really embellish the smashing through the window and it's raining.
I think at the end of the conversation, she will just say, thank you. I do have a question. Do you know where... What's her name? Basil. Do you know where Basil is?
Yes, I could go get Basil for you.
I'm probably gonna go to sleep. I just want her to know how thankful I am. I wouldn't be here without her.
I think that's something she should hear from you. You can wait until we get to Shradina, but...
I'm going to wait until we get to Shradina.
All right.
I'm gonna lay down.
All right.
And then you just see her like slowly lay down and just groan on the way down and cover herself up, and just as you're just still standing there. Okay. Good night.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, but good night. And he'll
Bye.
quietly walk to the door and just...
I will say we did skip a little bit in time, so it's probably 6:37 at this point.
All right. Well, still early for bedtime.
Yeah.
But she also died this afternoon, so it's okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. So, is there anything anybody else wants to do before Rian does whatever he's gonna do with Umbra and Basil?
I actually do have one thing.
Okie dokie.
After we are not eating stew, where did Yursa go?
She went back to her little garden thing that she has made on the rear of the deck. Her little patch that she has.
Okay. I think Umbra would, like just kind of walking around the ship, like studying it a little bit, just kind of getting, like, she didn't see this half of the ship, so she's like, I'm gonna be over here, and then kind of sees your garden happening, and after the conversation she had with everybody, I think she feels a little bit like maybe Yursa's more willing to like have somebody approach her at this time, so she will like kind of quietly, light on her feet, come up near her garden area and just say, do you want company?
Oh, you can join me if you would like to sit. And she kind of like retracts some of the more sharp parts to make a little spot on the ground.
Thanks, and like I said, sharp doesn't bother me, so this is perfect.
It's taking a little getting used to for me. I'm hoping it'll go away soon.
Admittedly, this might seem very out of the blue since we don't know each other. But-
Well, I'm Yursa, and she like puts her hand forward to shake your hand.
She will take her hand. Umbra.
Well, we've got the first step out of the way again.
There we go. And I may be overstepping, so I do apologize about that, as I tend to do that. But from what I gather, as everyone seems to be saying, including yourself, that this state is a bit newer for you. And you're in a chrysalis kind of place. And don't get me wrong, your friends are very sweet and encouraging and honestly, that's very wonderful, and you're very lucky. But I don't even know how to put this exactly. And again, like I said, probably overstepping here.
I'm
But
sure you're fine.
I'm sure you are well aware that it's not only butterflies that go through a metamorphosis that come out of a chrysalis. But that doesn't mean that moths are bad. And I think you seem to be ashamed of your thorns and the fact that you're going through a change. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't want you to be disappointed if the thorns never truly leave. They may be gone physically, as I think most people, when they go through a change, don't physically manifest those thorns, but you might carry it with you after the change is done. Do you kind of get what I mean?
Yes, I. And she smiles a little bit. I think I do, and I think hearing it from somebody who perhaps this is the only me that you have known, it does bring a bit of comfort knowing that it, even here as I am, you were willing to stand by my side to come and have a conversation with me and to still see through that maybe that this is just a part of me. Yes, I thank you. I think I just needed to hear a different perspective. I think
like
sometimes I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I was just, like I said, your friends are very sweet and very encouraging, and they're all very well-meaning. But I don't think this is something to be ashamed of. And many people embrace the thorns. But don't be mad at yourself if you never go back to who you were completely before the thorn.
You're right. Are you a moth, Umbra?
Maybe I'm a moth. Maybe I'm still a cocoon. Maybe I'm not even those bugs. I don't know.
You remind me of someone, but I'm not sure who that is yet.
Interesting.
Where did
I've
you
never
say
heard
you
that
were
before.
from again?
Oh, you know, around here and there. Been all over the place, really. So I'm a wanderer.
You know, for a wanderer, you are very wise beyond your years. I feel as though you've seen a lot, and probably a short amount of time.
Maybe. I'm kind of like Gak. I don't learn from reading, so experiences are the best teacher, in my opinion. So thank you for seeing that in me, but I wouldn't really call myself wise or smart normally.
What would you call yourself?
You see, that stumps her. That is a great question. I don't know.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you are still in your own cocoon and you have to figure that out.
Possibly. Maybe I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be. I'm just along for the ride. Not worried about the destination.
Funny. And she just looks at you and smiles for a long time.
Like funny haha or like funny that's really weird, Umbra?
Funny as in, I really like the way that you look at the world.
Well, despite what a lot of people think, I am a glass half full kind of person. So,
Well, maybe
optimism.
I can pour the rest into your glass.
That would be wonderful.
I hope this doesn't... All of that you've seen of everything, I hope that... I would like for you to stay, if you would want to.
Oh.
I mean, you said you are a wanderer, and if you seem very passionate about helping people, I know that money is important to you. We could move if you would like that. But it seems as though you get on well with everyone, and you work well as a team. But don't feel as if you're obligated. And I just think you're kind, and I would like to have that around more too. Everyone would enjoy that.
Admittedly, I hadn't thought a ton of it yet, so mind if I keep you posted on that offer?
Of course, I'm sorry if that was overstepping.
Oh, no, I clearly overstepped. So, no worries. And you can just see she's a little awkward. Like, there's been a lot of, like, love and affection, and she's just not... She's not operating well in that space. So she's gonna, like, get up, kind of, like, dust her pants off from, like, the, like, petals and dirt. And, she's like, I mean, I'll talk to you soon, and I'll let you know, and I'll think about it. And she kind of, like, awkwardly walks off.
Okay. Thank you. Do you want a flower?
And she's just gone. She
Yeah.
bolted. But I loved that.
Don't make yourself feel happy again.
I will say, Umbra, as you're walking away, Rand, you walk up to the first deck. Basil, I assume you're also probably up there.
Yeah, I think she had gone up there when everybody was pretty much done, just at the what is it called? The ledge, probably looking and waiting.
Okay. Yeah, Rian, you see Umbra walking from where the captain's capstan or whatever the heck wheel. There you go. That's the wrong thing. Walking down, and Basil's at the railing.
All right. Well, look at that. Both of you made it. Wonderful. So, do you have your weapons?
Yep. And you see she has no weapons in her hand.
Good.
Question. Do you mean like physical weapons or my fingers?
Physical weapons.
Oh. Yes, I have those. Why?
Well, I'll show you. Come here. To both Basil and to Umbra.
Umbra will approach. She's got the what's going on kind of like, she's not bought in yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Basil's also kind of like, why am I here? I am a spellcaster.
Yeah, I mean, Umbra might like kind of, you know, like when you're in gym class and like you're next to a friend and you both are kind of like over it. That's what
Yeah.
Umbra's like kind of like looking at Basil like, all right.
All right. Now, from Joe, I'm just going to ask that the two of you go with me on this, okay?
Oh, that's fine.
We don't need to roll it all right?
Sounds
got
good.
Okay.
Okay. So he's going to look to Basil and Umbra, and he's going to say, so, one of the things that I've realized is my own training regiment has fallen to the wayside a bit. And, well, that won't do. Of course, is Gak aboard top deck? So Gak's watching. As Gak is so inclined to remind me, I am getting up there in age, which means it's even more important that I continue to train day in and day out so I can stay sharp. Here's the thing. Training is no good when you do it alone. Umbra, I can tell that you have finesse with the blades that you conjure, a very impressive skill. And Basil, well, you have a scrappiness about you that I think could really benefit from a little bit of training, because it's more than just learning how to use that mace. It's a lot more. So, I'll give you an out now. If that's not something that interests you, I won't hold it against you. You can leave. All I ask is that try one time with me, and we'll see how it goes. And if you hate it, we never have to do it again.
Well, and she looks to Basil and says, I'll try anything once, gives her a wink, and then looks back to Rian.
Basil? Are you muted? Okay. You're just concussed. You're just stunned.
Basil is very like, you can see she's kind of antsy right now. She's like messing with the collar of her shirt. Yeah.
Let me ask again. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wasn't any more confident, but I'll take it.
I'm just not used to going out of my comfort zone, but I too like to try new things.
Very good. So, the first thing that I need both of you to understand and to recognize is the fight that happens on a battlefield. On the surface, when you first look at it, it can look gruesome and bloody and like there is no rhyme or reason. And that's just for people that haven't trained their senses to acknowledge that. But fighting, a battlefield, the back and forth of a clash of spells and weapons, is a lot like a dance. I'm sure both of you have at least a passing familiarity with ballet, right?
As in, like, I am aware it exists, or, like, further than that?
That's fine.
I'm aware it exists.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So in ballet, there are positions and names for each one of those positions, right? A pirouette, and a passe-deux, passe-cheval, right? There are a lot of different moves that one can do and the names associated with them. For me, it's no different. Right, if I decide to, and he'll pull out his sword and he'll make a couple of quick slashes. And you can see that they're very low to the ground, they're very quick, and there's not a lot of range of motion. It's almost like the tip of the blade is bouncing back and forth. And he says, that is called the rock skips the river, right? Echoing what is done with the blade. Now, each one of these moves, each one of these dances that occur when somebody is fighting, they have a counter. They have something you can do in retaliation, right? If somebody comes at me and I can recognize that they're making low, short cuts, right? The rock skips the river. I know that I can then do, and he does a couple of quick twirls and flashes with the blade that sort of seem to bounce back and forth low to the ground, but also up high. I can then go into the pedal descents down the mountain, back and forth, countering the rock that skips the river, right? And that ebb and flow to a battle is incredibly important, because the moment that you catch your opponent off guard is the moment that you land a strike. So now, what I want you to do, and I'll look to Basil first, I want you to try and hit me.
Hit you.
Yeah, go for it.
Hit you.
Yes, correct.
With my mace?
Yeah, you can try.
Like, take it and try to harm you?
Yes.
Okay. And, like, you can see she clearly doesn't know how to hold a friggin' weapon. She just has it, because
It's
she
just
was probably...
fashion. The accessory,
Yeah.
it was pink.
Honest, like,
why we bought
she
it?
probably bought it or took it and was like, maybe this will be useful someday, but probably never. And so she's holding it super awkwardly, and I think she kind of holds it up like you would with a baseball bat. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Are you sure you want me to hit you?
Yes, try to hit me.
And she's gonna start out kind of soft.
Yeah.
She's not just gonna go for it. So she very softly and slowly brings it over and like taps you.
Okay, so before you can go to like make contact, Rian responds with his natural dexterity and like the strength that he would respond to somebody that was actually coming to kill him. So as you go for this light tap, the sword flashes up and deflects. And you can see in that moment, he grabs your shoulder and like throws you behind him as he moves around to face you, as you kind of like almost tumble over to the ground a little bit. You can do better. Try again.
Don't think I can.
Well, she's not holding it right.
Well, how do you hold? I don't do weapons. I use my hands, and I'm a bitch. So those are what I fight with. How do you hold?
Basil, try again.
Yes. Okay.
And Umbra's never held a mace, but she's going to describe how one holds a mace to Basil from what she remembers of facing somebody who holds a mace.
As Rachel, how does one hold a mace?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure yours is one-handed.
So do you just like...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you would hold it like a baseball bat if you were holding the baseball bat one-handed, and you were swinging a baseball bat one-handed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Bitch hands. Yeah, Basil's gonna hold it kind of how Umbra had told her, and with a little bit more force, she's going to kind of fake left and then go right at Rian.
Okay. So you can see that in that moment as you fake left, you can see him start to lean to the left. And then as you begin to swivel and pivot to the right, you can see that's where the blade comes up to the right and deflects. He doesn't throw you this time. He just deflects and kind of steps off to the side. And you can see he smiles and says, very good. Very good. It's important, though, for you to figure out which way you need to hold the weapon, right? Whoever fought Umbra with a mace held it one way. But remember, the weapons that we use, they're an extension of us. It's not a tool that you pick up, it's a part of you. And Basil, the reason I want you to be here is during that fight, I lost all mental capacity. Any of the magic that I had unlocked as a paladin was gone. All I had was my blade. That's all I had. It can happen. And if it does happen, I want you to be prepared for that. So that was good. Try one more time. Trust the mace. Don't tell it where to go. Follow it. Okay?
I think I understand.
Okay.
Okay. And she like shakes out her body a little bit. She kind of swings the mace a little bit, getting a feel for it, because she's never really needed to hold it or anything. She, you know, for someone who grew up really athletic, you'd think I'd be better at this.
You're doing great.
Oh, thanks. And then as soon as she says that, she just charges at Rianne.
You can see Rianne, he's like, yeah, here we go. And you can see at this point, he falls into a little bit more of a defensive stance, right? Knees slightly bent, shoulder width apart, his feet, and he just has his hand on the hilt of the blade, and he just kind of waits to see where she's going. So how does Basil choose to attack in this moment? She's running at him. What does she do?
So, kind of what Rianne was telling her, she starts out at the top, and then she just whips her arm around to go to the side.
Okay, alrighty. So you can see as you sort of bring the mace up and go to swing it around, you can see maybe not Basil because she's in the heat of the fight, but Umbra, you would be able to see that as Rianne goes to sort of flick and deflect, you can see he pauses for a moment and he just barely steps out of the way. Where if he had waited just a split second longer, it would have made direct impact with his side. And you can see him go, oh, all right. Well, for a much slower opponent, that would have definitely hit. Ooh, and you can see him sort of check the tunic for cuts and scrapes. All right.
Really? That was good?
That was very good, Basil. Very good job.
Oh, nice. I mean, even if I hurt you, I can easily heal you. I of course don't want to hurt you.
No, of course. But
that was...
I could see that you trusted it. Good. Keep that in mind.
I just want to go chop people now.
We'll get to that in just a moment, believe me. Umbra, come at me. Try and hit me.
Immediately throws 2 daggers.
Yeah. Ching, ching. He just deflects both of them. That was good. That was fast. Try again.
Sure. And then she will try and instead of like conjuring them right away, she's going to try and like quickly get to the side of him, shove him, and then try and dagger into kind of like not actually making impact, but almost like, you know, that spot that really hurts whenever you hit it in your shoulder blade? She's trying to hit that with her elbow.
Okay. All right. So
I think at this point, I want to see a roll. Because Umbra is not.
She's not.
She's very proficient.
Yeah.
With daggers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do.
Basil leans in.
Oh, that wasn't good.
I can heal you if needed.
Did it
Also,
roll
at this
into...
point, there have been. No, you have to click your extension.
I didn't click it again when it came back. I'm like, I fucking did that.
So it was a 16.
Yeah,
no, my AC
So it
is
wasn't the best.
22, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say there is a small gathering of people that are watching.
Wait a second. Because I'm proficient, I think I have a thing for this. I think I can re-roll. Ooh. Yeah, yes.
Umbra does not want to lose.
Not really. I think I can. I just can't find... I don't know my thing very well. It's like a psionic thing. Where the fuck? Bolstered knack. Fail any... Oh, ability check using a skill or tool. Yeah, never mind. That's not the same.
Okay. Yeah. So as you go and try and hit that spot, you can see that he sort of twirls away and he sort of stops for a moment. And he says, "The cat that crosses the river. How fitting." And you can see in that moment, as you went for the elbow and you kind of leave yourself open in that moment, he sort of brings the blade up with like both hands and makes this wide sweep across. And as he does that, I would say that Umbra's far enough away that she could kind of dodge and roll out of the way easily enough, unless you want me to roll for it.
John, do you want to see a roll?
What's your AC?
I think it's 17.
Yeah, roll.
Okay.
The only reason we're rolling is because both of you are very proficient in martial class.
Yeah.
So 28 though. That's
Yeah. He'll stop the
Fucking
blade.
on the ground.
Right? Well, he won't hit you. Right? But the blade would have. And he says, see, that's the thing that you need to remember, all right, is that just because you think you have the advantage in the fight doesn't mean you do. At any moment, it could be turned around, and then, well, you'd be on your back, all right? Try again. Come at me. And don't let your defense down. Keep up the momentum. If you see me move, you should be moving in response. Okay?
She'll kind of nod, and then before she attacks, she's going to kind of wave her left hand kind of like across her face, and you see the tattoo glow, and she starts to become a little incorporeal and harder to hit. And she then will make 2 more attacks, trying to use her speed to her advantage again.
Okay.
But I think what she's going to do is toss one and then come in again from the other side, trying to, not from on the back of him necessarily, but more like pushing him from the front.
Okay.
So can I roll 2 attacks this time, John?
Yeah, we'll roll those.
Okay. What? It's a poo. It's poo. I wrote poo. I'm very poo today. That was a 2, which is a 10, and then 8, which is a 16.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Rianne's able to counter those.
Yeah.
So with the one you throw, he deflects it again, and as you go in for the move with the dagger, you can see that he actually ends up grabbing your wrist, sort of pushing you off to the side, and so one arm on your wrist, one arm on your shoulder, and he ends up pushing you into Basil.
Basil, startled, but she catches Umbra by the shoulders and quickly pushes her off. Are you okay?
Perfect. And then she's gonna whip back around to Rianne, ready to dodge whatever he has coming her way.
And you can see as he's moving forward, he says, "All right, well, it seems as though both of you are fairly competent, but I think it's important for us to see how the 2 of you operate together. I want both of you to come at me, and you can try and hit me, but I guess we'll see how that goes, won't we?" Definitely trying to egg you on, not trying to be a dick, but trying to get you to light a fire.
Okay, so Umbra's gonna turn back around to Basil and kind of quietly pull her in and say, "All right, so here's the thing. He's gonna expect you to be the distraction and me to actually hit him. So we're gonna do the opposite.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the distraction, and then I want you to, with all the force you have in you, do not be afraid to hit him, because if you're afraid to hit him, you're gonna miss.
I am afraid to hit him.
Please don't be. Please." And she's gonna take her by the face and just be like, "It's fine, he's fine." And then she's gonna whip back around really quickly, hopefully throwing Rianne off, and do some sort of acrobatic thing. She flips or some bullshit, and then tries to make 2 attacks, but then wants to slide out of the way, so Rianne's gaze still follows her while Basil comes in.
Okay.
Is she, is Umbra going up or down towards his feet?
I think it's gonna be more she kind of jumps at him and then slides. I'm thinking Sojourn slide. Slide out of the way. So it's gonna be that kind of motion.
Yeah, Umbra flips and shit.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so then while Umbra is going towards one side of Rianne, Basil, with all of the momentum she can, kind of like a pitcher, they take those couple of hops beforehand, and then she just throws, not actually throw, let go, but she holds on to it and throws it towards his shoulder.
Okay.
And she stops. She stops right before it hits, but thinking about what both Rianne and Umbra said, she's like, "I'm not afraid, but I don't want to hurt you." So she'll get right there up to him. That's it.
Do I make you guys roll, or do...
I mean,
For funsies, we can, or if Joe wants to decide.
There's a purpose here, all right? There's a method to the madness, all right? Believe me, okay? So, as you go in for that strike, right, you distract, and you can see that both of you have distracted Rian, right? As he's focusing towards Umbra, he does what Umbra said. He is thinking that Umbra is going to be the main person that attacks, but seeing Basil running in from the side out of the corner of his eye, you can see that he does end up sort of sidestepping and shoulder checks Umbra off to the side. As Umbra, you kind of lose your balance just a little bit as the mace just barely swings past his midsection. As he kind of, as he has his hands up looking towards Basil. That was good. Very good. You can do better, though. Again, try it.
I've received a message. So after when you guys try this again, Gideon off into the corner just looks towards Basil and Umbra and twin casts haste.
Bruh.
Nice.
That's fun.
Basil looks over towards Umbra and like slowly shuffles over to her. Are we doing the same thing, or should we switch
No.
it up a bit?
No, we need to switch it up. So I think the thing
Okay.
we can do. I'm feeling very energized suddenly, so I think we can do more. Here's my thought. You start. I'm still technically the distraction, so you're gonna start so he thinks you're out of the way, and like
Okay.
your part is done. I'm gonna do a flurry of blows, but then once I'm done, assuming they don't hit, you get him from behind. Make sure he doesn't see you or hear you coming. Or attack while I'm attacking. That one actually might be better.
Maybe do that. I'm not a very stealthy person.
Attack while I'm attacking then.
Okay,
So you
sounds good.
start, I'll go in, you finish with me.
Okay, perfect.
Great. That's
And so they both turn back to Rianne. And Basil, in kind of how she did the first time, like she immediately turns around and goes at him, not really
Okay.
giving a second to have everyone prepare. She's holding the mace up again. And so she'll start out like that. And then Umbra, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, after Basil makes her first swing, I think Umbra will just try and do kind of like what I said, like a flurry of blows. It's almost like she sweeps in and she's like throwing 2 daggers, and then she gets close and personal, tries to hit with 2 daggers, assuming Rianne dodges both of those. Hopefully then after she tries to do the 2 like up and close and personal stabs, that's when Basil comes in.
And so Basil will whip around until she's behind Rianne. And then she'll actually turn her mace around so that the wooden part is facing Rianne, and she's going to jam it into his back. Gotcha.
Okay, alrighty. So, what I'll say is, Umbra, could I have Umbra roll 2 attacks with the daggers? Because those aren't coming at Rianne, but just to see how effective they are, how close, how much they make them kind of.
Okay, well, they don't hit. Well, the
You can add a
last one
d6 to these.
well, the last one would hit.
Okay.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can
last
add
one would hit. A D6
the
from.
Flanking.
haste.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
flanking.
Flanking,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Okay,
So at least this is added to the first one. We're still
21, so that
Too
doesn't
low.
hit. But
Yeah.
as you do, you can see that he does deflect both, but that second one is really close and kind of makes him lose his balance a little bit. As Basil, you run up behind him. Basil can make an attack with advantage.
Is that just a
D6.
D20?
Yep, D20 plus strength plus your proficiency, I
Is
think.
your mace on your character sheet?
It should be.
is. Let me...
You should be able just to click an attack roll and it'll roll it all for you.
Okay.
Just click it twice.
Ooh,
All
it
right.
does hit.
Well, roll again. See if it's a natural 20. If you absolutely paralyze Rian from the neck down. Okay, all right.
What a change in the whole campaign.
So-
It turns into us trying to find a home for Rian.
Right.
Or a combat wheelchair. Jeez. All right. So as Umbra throws the 2 daggers, you can see with the haste, right? you can see as you run up behind him and jam the wooden part into his back, you make contact as it kind of sees us for just a moment. Ah, all
And
right.
She pulls up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that was
Umbra's gonna
perfect.
quickly run up to Basil and be like, hell yeah, nice, and
No,
like high
very
five
good,
her.
very good. And thank you, Gideon, for interfering with the training. Quite all right, as you need to use your allies' resources whenever available. Next time, though, maybe let the training stay the way that it is. But for this
I
time...
thought it would be funny. It was.
Ha!
I'm
So-
laughing.
The two of you did a great job, right? Of course, none of this is going to be perfect on your first foray, especially for you, Basil. But I want you to know that you did a very good job. Because
Thanks.
fighting and being in the battlefield, it isn't just about the way that you swing your weapon. It's not about one person and what they contribute. It's about how you and me, how all of us interact with each other. The strengths that we have are multiplied exponentially when we work together. Gideon interfering isn't a bad thing. Makes my point even more. So, that being said, I would like the two of you to come back tomorrow morning for more training, because I think you could benefit. And who knows, maybe time and time again we can get someone else in it. I think that it's about time that Gak maybe learns how to wield a weapon. Honestly, maybe we can even get yours in on this.
Hey, Rianne, I'm gonna be honest. You were talking pretty quiet for most of that, and I couldn't hear basically anything you said. But
It's
it
really
looked
rough.
awesome.
And what
Good.
do you mean by morning?
Bright and early, at dawn.
Noon?
Dawn, when
Noon
the sun
it is. Thanks.
rises.
Um,
You know, I've had a student like you before. Let's hope
I'm not
things
a
work out better
student.
for you. Well, you are now. Yeah, Basil?
no, I totally agree.
All right.
From the side, you do hear. Basil was your name, right? If you want to learn how to actually hold a mace, I could teach you. I ain't got nothing else to do. And you see over is Gertrude, or Grandma, who is a cleric and is holding a mace that looks like this, just on her shoulder.
Grandma.
Oh, your mace is so much prettier than mine.
It's got a lot of battle. If you want, I'm around. Bored?
Sure. Definitely could be useful. Whenever you have time, of course. I mean, we are in the middle of the ocean, so I don't know what all you're doing.
I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Me too. So whenever you'd like.
Okay.
Right now,
so-
even.
right now.
I will say, as Basil walked over there, Rian did want to say something to Umbra real quick before we sort of end this little moment.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question for you, if you don't mind answering it.
Depends on the question.
That's fair. When you learned how to fight, where did you learn? Just all around, or more in one place, more in another?
I didn't have a proper teacher, if that's what you're asking.
I didn't either. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious. We pick things up when we travel a long road. And I'm just wondering where you pick those things up from.
Like you said, one place here, one place there, all over. Can't really tie it down.
Would you say that you learned more in Siri?
Why do you think I've been to Siri?
Well, the way you fight, honestly. I've never seen anyone use daggers like that before. It's really impressive, but the movements. Everything you did today is a variation
of something that I've learned. It's not exactly the same, but it's recognizable. Definitely, you're hard to hit and you're fast. I think out of anybody here, you would benefit the most from what I have to teach.
Well, like I said, I picked things up. Maybe I was around a bunch of people when I was young who were from Siri. I don't know. Maybe those people from Siri that you met, maybe they're not that special. Maybe that's from other places.
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe. And he'll kind of narrow his eyes at her. And does it seem like Umbra is trying to play it cool or trying to conceal, or does she seem pretty genuine right now?
You're gonna have to roll for that.
I
guess that'd be insight,
Hell.
right, John?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to break the bad habit of yelling, insight check! Okay, shift is of advantage. Boom. 21. Choo-choo! Nice.
I think I can actually use my psionic knack for this if I want to. I'm trying to decide if I want to, though. Ability check or using a skill or tool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and roll one. So basically I get to add the plus for a d8. So... You don't know. She seems pretty genuine.
Okay.
I'll see you at noon tomorrow.
That's what you think, Umbra.
Oh, I know it. And she'll walk away.
He ponders for a moment. And that's it.
Okay. So, it is getting late. I would say anybody who is up at the top, from the very small lantern light, the faint light that is emanating from the ship from all the lantern lights around, you can see right next to the ship about 10 feet. Gak would probably see this. I don't think Basil would see this just because you're kind of training with Gertrude right now. Yursa, you would see this. Just a school of dolphins just kind of in and out of the water right next to the ship. It is hard to think that on this same day you fought Oberyon Blackmore and liberated an entire island. You kind of just get lost in the moment. There's this peace.
Can you say
Pod of
hello to the dolphins?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't speak with animals?
Yep.
Okay.
She's just gonna say hello. Hello. Come on, John. Come on.
I'm trying to debate
What
whether or
is
not I want to
that?
give him a certain voice. Hello.
Okay, that works.
Aww.
I love you so much.
You
and I
actually hear
appreciate
you hear hello, 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 hello.
Aww.
She's happy. She didn't want anything else. She just wanted to say hi.
You then hear bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
As
Oh,
they're
that-
jumping out of the water.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's everything I needed.
Oh my god. Okay. So, as everything dies down, as everyone starts to head to bed, everyone is able to get their own room on the ship. The ship is large. This is a galleon. It is a, as you've been walking around, you probably counted about 80, 90 people on this ship, crew. So you are able to get your own rooms that have doors and have your own privacy. So I'd ask I know there are a couple things that some of you want to do. So I guess, is there anything that anybody wants to do during this night before we head to the next morning and end up in Shredina?
It's something super fast, and we don't have to like super role play it out. But Yursa, I don't know if this would even work, but like she's been writing a lot, but there's like a different thing in particular that she was writing. And before she goes to her room, you said that there's a bunch of seagulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, she's gonna cast Speak with Animals again. Sorry.
Okay. So
and...
these are the seagulls from Nemo, by the way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. She's gonna go to a flock of them, okay? And
Mhm.
she's
Yeah.
going to say, "Hello, friends. If any of you are familiar with the Mallow Grove, I would like for you to raise your wing, please."
None of them.
Oh. Do you have any friends that are familiar?
You hear one of them that looks like one of the bigger seagulls go, "No, we don't have any friends."
That's so sad. Well, I can be your friend.
All right.
You can see she kind of like fiddles with her letter that she had in her hand. Okay. Well, perhaps I can find another friend in Tredina that would know. But if you pass by anyone who happens to be from the Mallow Grove or know anyone, will you send them my way?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, thank you very much. You are all dismissed now.
Inside
Goodbye.
joke on that seagull.
Bye.
You hear the bigger one go, "Let's go." And they all pick up and fly off. It's like the
Kinda-
penguins of Madagascar.
So funny. She kind of like looks at her little letter, a little sad. She kind of grabs her bracelet to her sister, and then she'll tuck it away, and she'll go back to writing something else.
Okay, what is your passive perception, Yursa?
19.
19. Okay. As you're still in the back of the ship, right?
Yes.
Okay. As you finish up this conversation with the seagulls and you kind of go back to what you're doing, you do kind of just ever so slightly, very quickly look over the side of the ship, maybe to see where those dolphins were, or just something caught your eye. And as you look over, you do see, very briefly, in the water itself, it looks like a very beautiful woman's face with flowing hair, that her hair seems to be made of the water itself. There are these starlight freckles all over her face, and the eyes are bright cyan blue. It just ever so faintly you see this, and she just looks at you and smiles.
Yursa's gonna smile back and wave.
And it's gone.
Yursa feels a menagerie of feelings. But she just kind of smiles and she'll sit in her little patchwork garden she's made. for a little bit longer. And then she'll kind of peer back over the side to see if she sees that woman again. But she probably doesn't. But she'll peek anyway. And then
Okay.
she'll probably go to bed.
Just do me a favor and make a nature check.
Okay.
Okay. This face that you saw, you know, all manners of creatures and
Mm-hmm.
sea creatures and all of that. This didn't look like it was even part. It was a physical body or anything in the water itself.
Oh.
It just looked like the visage of someone's face, and you get this very, very, very strong connection to nature when you look at this individual, and then it disappears. And there's even this slight divinity that you can feel left behind.
She's kind of furrows her brow a little bit. And not expecting an answer. She's just gonna kind of like whisper down. I think I know you. And that's all she's gonna say.
Yeah. There's no response. The woman's face is gone. And it was just a split second.
Yeah, she's just gonna kind of hold on to that. And eventually go to her room.
Okay. All right. You head to bed. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
I have something.
All right.
When Gak goes to his room, he's gonna sit on the bed and really, like, probably for the first time, just to take a deep breath from everything that's happened.
Okay.
And he'll probably just sit there for a while, just kind of thinking. And he pulls out his book and he looks at the spell that he created, and he decides to turn to a new page, and he just closes his eyes, and he's gonna try to talk to the book.
Okay. You're just trying to mentally connect with the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me. What is this gonna be? Roll me just a general wisdom check.
Okay. Nice. Unnatural 20.
Okay. So Gak, as you sit there and open the book and kind of concentrate and close your eyes, you start to hear the sounds of the ocean fade, the ship behind you fade. You are standing in a dark area. Nothing around you. No light. No structures. Nothing physical. Just darkness. What do you do?
After Gak, like, eventually opens his eyes and sees all this, he's like,
I might have done something wrong.
and I think Gak will try to cast dancing lights.
Poof, 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 poof. They all light up, and you can see them floating around you. They cast much less light than you were used to.
Does it reveal a ground or anything, or?
It does. You can see you are walking on broken cobblestone.
Gak pretty hesitantly starts walking forward.
Okay. As you start walking forward, you watch almost like a video game rendering on the screen in front of you. You see structures start to build in front of you. These columns that reach up to a 40-foot ceiling, multiple columns, about 8 on each side, that lead. You keep going and walking and walking. And as you walk this broken cobblestone, you can tell that it then turns into what looks like it would be marble floors. There's even sound that starts to happen as you walk, as you can hear echoing of your footsteps throughout whatever chamber or room this is. And eventually, as you walk, you see in front of you a throne that you've seen in visions past. And sitting on the stairs that lead up to the throne, you see a very familiar individual that you've seen before. Pale white face, slicked back black hair, very tattered and broken and destroyed royal robes, half of his face destroyed, and bright red yellow eyes in the middle. You see he definitely looks worse than before, but you see Izarin as he kind of sits there. Hello, Gak.
Hey. Did I get sucked into the book again?
In a way.
Okay.
There is no need to be worried.
How are you?
Not well. You've come here for a reason.
Well, a few things. One, I thought it was really cool. I just made a spell. That was pretty cool. It does this.
Gak makes a spoon.
It does this.
And he just drops it on the floor.
Ting, 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 ting. As it
okay.
just echoes.
But the main reason I wanted to be here, I don't know. I appreciate you helping me. But I don't know that much about you.
There is a reason why I brought you here. There is much for you to know. Much information you must know. But I am fading. Demogorgon is on the move. I've been able to use my magics to keep me alive.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Yes. I think that it is finally time. I have told you before that you are to keep the book and to continue the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
It is finally time for you to act. You have grown strong enough, Gak. And there is a favor I must ask you.
Yeah, it's the yeast I could do.
My book holds a part of my soul within it. This much I think you know. It also holds the information needed to save our people. I am too weak to tell you myself.
And you can see that the building around you starts to crack and kind of break. You can hear rocks falling from the ceiling, and Izarin just kind of he lets out this pained scream as you see part of his face just starts to disintegrate a little bit.
You must take my book. You must take it to Siri. I had a home in Udhas.
Udhas?
My home, whatever is left of it, there should be an observatory. Take the book there, and you will find the information you seek.
Observatory Udhas?
Yes.
Okay. Observatory Udhas.
I don't know how long I will be alive. But this will solve and let you know everything.
Okay.
You, as you say, okay, see within this vision or whatever this is, a tentacled arm reach down through the ceiling, wrap itself around Izarin, and pull him out. And the vision breaks, the ruins crumble, and you look up and you see a large boulder headed in your direction as it smacks and hits you. And you wake up in your room.
Gak probably, as he wakes up, he probably shoots a, like a magic missile straight up into the sky.
It hits the top of the wood of the room you're in.
Wakes up. Gak, Gersa! What happened? I like to imagine their rooms were next to each other. So,
Yeah.
Rand's gone like, Gak.
Gak, he's dazed, but he'll get up and open the door.
Yeah, what's up?
Rand has his sword in his hand. What happened?
And like Gak is thinking about what Umbra said earlier about like keeping secrets and stuff, but Rian can definitely tell that Gak's just standing there. He's going,
Did somebody put a curse on you, Gak? What's happening? You can tell me.
No.
Okay, no one put a curse on you. That's good.
I think, it was a dream. But in the dream, I got like crushed by a rock. So
Oh, gods. Okay. But you're all right.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, can you come in here real quick?
Yeah, of course. And Rhiann'll come in. The sheath is in the other room, so he's just got the sword. He's kind of set it down on a table.
So, he said kind of, but I think I was in the book again.
Okay.
And I was talking to Iziran, but I was like right there with him. And he doesn't know how much longer he's gonna be alive, and he's using magic to keep himself alive, but his face was like falling apart. And he said that I'm powerful enough and that he has a favor to ask. And he wants us to go to Siri, to his home, so we can put the book there and then I'll get answers.
Siri. Did he say where?
Yeah, it's the observatory at Udhas.
Udhas.
He said that in the book, I have the power to bring back the city.
Oh. Okay.
Gak is just gonna immediately slowly hug Rian. Just try to like envelop him.
Thanks, Gak.
Okay. You don't have to talk about how you're feeling right now, but you
Thank
can
you.
whenever you want to.
Thank you. We'll go. We need this.
At the end of the vision, the room where the king sits on the chair, I was in that room and it started to fall apart, and a big tentacle came in that was from the Demogorgon, and it like grabbed Iziran, and then a rock fell on me and I woke up. He said that the Demogorgon is on the move.
So it's left then. It may be soon. Okay. We should tell the others, especially Sayori,
Yeah.
in the morning. I'm glad you're all right, Gak.
Thank you. Are you all right?
I will be. And you can see this like 1,000-yard stare. Get some sleep, Gak.
You too. Hey, if you need to share a room with a buddy, just knock on the door.
All right. I'll keep that in mind, Gak. And he'll pick up the sword and kind of slowly march back to his room.
Okay. So, all of you, go to sleep, trying to get whatever rest you can. All of you are still very, very injured, even though you leveled up. from the Blackmore fight. However, in the middle of the night, Umbra.
Yes. So she is going to kind of in her room give herself a little pep talk, but it's not really herself. She's gonna like look in the mirror and then turn to her right and say, I need you to shut up. I need my mind to be as clear as possible. No talk back. We can talk about it after. You heard me. And then she will leave her room and go down to Rianne's room. And earlier when she had done her little tattoo thing, she's going to turn incorporeal again and walk through his door as quietly as possible.
Would this have been before or after the GAC thing?
This is way after.
Like way after?
Mm-hmm. Everyone is asleep at this point.
Okay.
So she's going to quietly make sure that she finds his weapons and hide them or keep them out of range in the room. I don't know, Joe, where Rian Holt. I mean, it seems like he has his sword ready right by his bed. So
Yeah, the sword is up against the nightstand. I will say, walking in, you can see that it's kind of like he fell asleep sitting up, and you can see that there was a small harp sitting in his lap that it looks like he fell asleep playing. But the sword is kind of off to the side, and the dagger is also on the nightstand, and those are the only two weapons he has on him, and the bow and arrow, but that's nowhere close.
okay, yeah, she's going to move those out of sight if possible, and definitely out of range for him to grab. And then once all that's in place, she's going to pull out or like manifest her dagger and put it right under, like right here, lifting up his chin, and says, "Wake up, Basara. Wake up." Don't. No. Shut up. The only reason why this isn't already through your neck is because I like your friends. And I need you to be completely honest with me, and I'll know if you're lying. Good. Back in Mumbai, why did you survive? How did you survive that fire? Where were you? Did you help them?
How do you know about that?
You still don't recognize me. I mean, it's been a long time and I've grown significantly. Maybe Isaac would have remembered me if he had lived.
Don't you dare say his name. You may have the weapon in
She
your
pushes
hand.
it further into his neck.
If you plan to kill me, then I suggest you get it over with.
I need answers. Did you help them or not? Because if you betrayed not just our city, but your own family, I swear to God.
You can see his eyes narrow for a moment.
My God. Enid.
Finally. Took you long enough.
You can see that tension, that like will to take a dagger to the throat and still try and attack fades away as he softens and he leans back with no intention to fight anymore.
Put the dagger
Did you
away.
do it? Did you do it?
No,
Tell me!
no, I didn't do it.
And her hand grows shaky.
And he'll kind of reach his hand up softly and try and not like rip or tear her wrist away, but place his hand on her wrist and say,
I had nothing to do with it. I promise.
I told you to leave me alone. I could do this.
Enid,
And
who
then
are you
she-
talking to?
She drops the manifest. It's none of your business. Probably. I saw you leave. I saw you come back, and I saw you leave. And so her left arm's the one that's visible with the tattoo. She takes it and then pulls down the long glove that was covering all of her right hand, and you can see scarring. That has healed over time, but it's burns. And even like bits of her finger and chunks just didn't quite grow back right.
Enid, I am so sorry. If I would have known, I would have taken you with me.
When I got out, I just started walking the direction I saw you leave. I couldn't cry out because of the ash. This thing that's talking to me is what helped me. I don't know what it is. I call it Moon. Because the night after you left, things started happening that I had never known I could do. And that's when she starts to like almost like shift and fidget, like not like physically, but like her matter, and she like teleports to the other side of the room. It got me out, and I heard this voice, and it started telling me what I needed to do, where water was, and there was nothing else around except a full moon in the sky. And I don't know who it is or what. But the one thing my parents always said was trust the moon. The light will shine in the darkness. I didn't think I'd ever find you. I wasn't looking for you.
and you see him just kind of search for the words to say.
I am so sorry that I didn't see you. That you had to suffer the way you did.
Rian, it's whatever at this point.
No. Please let me talk. No one deserves that type of pain. No one should have to struggle through that type of pain. Let alone a child. You asked me where I was and what happened. And after all this time, I think it's only fair that you know the truth. You were young at the time. The same age as Isaac, of course. Do you remember everyone getting sick?
My parents got sick.
Aida and Isaac got sick as well. In the books that I had, books that were left with me when I was found, it talked of herbs within the mountains that could be used to undo terrible sickness. I went looking. I thought that maybe I could save them. Maybe I could save your parents. Maybe I could save the village. You and Isaac had spent so much time those past few months playing heroes, fighting invisible monsters and saving the day, and I thought maybe I could be like you two. So I left. I went in search of that flower, that herb that could save them. And instead, what I found was a ruined city. I found out that there is an entire culture of people that are wiped off the face of the material plane that belong to me. I found a sword abandoned that had the mantle of leadership thrust upon me. Found out so much about myself in such a short span of time. I was so angry. I was so angry. I destroyed so much. I let that anger consume me, and I was gone for days. Much longer than I wanted. Eventually, I never found the flower. The mission was pointless. And when I returned, God, I can still see it. The smoke. The ash.
It literally happened the night before you got back.
I'm sorry I wasn't there. Maybe if I was, I could have protected you and Isaac and Aida. But I
You
wasn't
would have
there.
died with everyone else.
You don't know that.
I do. Because if you weren't there, there may not have been some magical trauma thing to get you out. Everyone died but me. And you. It was impossible. The only reason I didn't get... And you see her stop. I saw the man that started it. He has a birthmark across his face. He saw me before he lit the first flame. They got away in a carriage with the symbol of the Syri government.
And you can see him pause for a moment, collect himself a bit. Let me ask you. When you left, knowing who that man was, knowing what skills you have now, what's your plan? What do you want?
I wasn't even looking for you, Rianne. Yeah, it hurts. But what would I do against the Syri government? It wasn't that one man. I left. I don't have a plan. I don't have anywhere.
No, that's not true. Not anymore. You have here. You have me. You have us.
I've
I
been
know.
told that so many times, Rianne. That's
I
not.
know. I know. But I make this promise to you today. All those years ago, I left you behind. I didn't know. And I am sorry. I'm a different man now.
I can tell. You're pretty detached. Seems like you found a new family. And even maybe a truer family that you're trying to save.
Enid, there is not a day that goes by that I don't wish to turn back time and hug Aida and Isaac one more time. There has never been a moment in my life where I haven't missed them, where I haven't wanted them back by my side. That woman you spoke to today, Yrsa, I spent 15 years wandering, a drunken mess, going from tavern to tavern, hoping that someone that I had challenged to a fight, that they would finally put me out of my misery, drown me, slit my throat, break my bones so I would finally feel something, or stop feeling pain altogether. But then one day, I saw a flame in the forest, and for the first time, instead of running away from fire, I ran towards it. Someone needed help. That woman taught me so much about the capacity that one has to love.
Do not mistake the love that I have for these people now as a replacement for those that I lost. The heart is a powerful tool. It has so much capacity for love and care. No one is ever replaced. But life is long. And I'm sure that you still have so much love to give.
Rian, that person with all that capacity to love, look what it did to her. Let's just say I'm not interested. I have you healed with Yrsa. I healed with Moon. I have everything I need.
There's something Yrsa told me a long time ago when I first told her what happened. To grieve deeply is to have loved fully. Every ounce of care that I had to give to Aida and Isaac, I gave, which is why it hurt so much. Yrsa has that love for every living creature on this planet, on this plane and all planes. That's why even with somebody as twisted and vile as Oberyn, she still has love.
And it was inevitably her undoing.
It wasn't. All of us go through a metamorphosis. All of us go through change. We do what is necessary for us to survive.
Rian, I'm not open for this conversation.
I never was.
I wasn't looking for you, and I wasn't looking for anything.
But regardless,
I just wanted an answer.
You still found me. You didn't search me out.
You paid me to be here.
Does it make a difference? At the end of the day, fate, destiny, chance brought us together. We found each other. And to ignore that would be a grave mistake, Enid.
Talking to you is like an endless hole. Everything you say, there's one other thing I could add to it. By that logic, it was destiny for my mom and dad, Milo, Isaac, your wife, to die. And to suffer. I'm glad you've healed, Rian. Be glad that I've healed in my way. I just needed to know. Because until I read your journal, I hated you.
And you can see there's a deep sigh as he says, I know. In this moment right now, both of us have a lot to process. But regardless of how our lives have been affected by this terrible trauma, in this moment right now, something miraculous has happened. We found each other. cannot argue that that, in its own way, isn't beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. Regardless of the circumstances, I can genuinely say I am so happy to have you here. And you may not feel the same way, and you're allowed to. But I want you to know I'm here for you. I know what pain you feel. I feel it too. I don't judge the way that you had to adapt. We all do what we must to survive. But all of us in life don't just change once. We go through many metamorphoses, many changes.
I'll see you at noon tomorrow. And she'll leave.
She keeps saying noon. It's gonna be a rough morning, I can tell already. And yeah, I think that Rianne, as she leaves, just kind of begins to pluck away at the harp. And I think that Enid would probably hear it from behind the door. And it would probably be one of those like memories that was repressed that in that moment she would relive.
Yeah, she would actually stop from walking and like sit outside his door and like slide with her back down and start to hum the song that he's playing.
Okay.
Oh, my heart. Okay. After that conversation, everyone can hit the long rest button.
Oh, Jesus Christ, finally.
If you hadn't before, I know everyone leveled up, so I don't know. There is one final thing before we get to the next morning.
What a picnic.
Yeah, this is a great picnic. Yursa. As you are resting in your elven trance, the 4 hours that you use, these past couple days have been very difficult to get any sort of real rest. And there's still all of these thoughts going through your mind with everything that's transpired. But there is this moment during this night where you get into that sleep, that deep trance.
Yay. It's been so long.
And during this, you see yourself in this dream in a large, expansive garden of many different types of flowers and trees. In the distance, you can see a shoreline that turns into a beach, that turns into an ocean. There's nothing but nature surrounding you. and you hear behind you the crunching of grass. What do you do?
I think she's so used to kind of being startled awake and ending up in a place that isn't so nice. So I think for a moment there's this kind of weird. She gasps because she's almost afraid she's gonna see Oberyn. But then when she opens her eyes, she realizes he's not there. Which also is kind of sad in a weird way. But she smiles that it's something a lot more peaceful. But when she hears the footsteps, she's gonna turn around.
Okay. Walking towards you is a very beautiful woman with tan skin, bright orange, long hair that goes past her feet, touching the ground. She wears this very simple but beautiful green silken robe. Her eyes are just white. And you see someone who looks like this, who's just walks over and gracefully sits down in the grass next to you.
I think for a moment Yrsa she kind of fumbles a little bit and she goes to bow and then realize that seems really silly and then she does like a weird half curtsy thing and then she just ends up sitting on the ground. I do know you. I do know you.
Beautiful.
Laura.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
She just sits there next to you, just kind of like looking at everything. And then she slowly turns towards you, Yrsa. And you see her face, a smile.
I see you, Yrsa. I have watched. You
hope-
bring so much life, joy, kindness, and nature to the world. My flower.
You're not disappointed.
Not in the slightest. What is there to be disappointed in?
Everything has just been so hard. And I just wanted to make everyone happy. And I just wanted everyone to know that they can be loved and that's okay. And it's been very hard to accept that sometimes people don't want your help. Or that maybe they do. But the only way to help them isn't very nice. And it's very hard.
There are many choices that even gods have to make that are difficult. But we must know, always follow the wind, wherever it blows. You have done such a great job, Yrsa. In the trials and tribulations of mortals are many and vast. but I've seen you overcome them. And you have always lost. I know we have not spoken much.
I didn't want to bother you if you were busy. You do, so much.
I'm glad to have someone like you continue what I do on the prime material. As you know, communication with us is difficult. Your friend Basil would have told you this.
Yes, it's hard to not thin the rifts that are already there.
You have the ability to fix all of this.
I want to. I very much do.
When you and your companion find the time, I would hope that you travel to my realm first. There is much to discuss, but first, the other wardens, they must be assembled.
I do know of some. Others are a little bit more difficult to find. But I can do my best to get in contact with those who are willing, and perhaps they know a way to contact the others that we're a little unsure of.
You see, she just kind of leans back and just kind of just looks at everything.
I would start with sludge.
Yes, I've already reached out, and I was hoping to hear back a little bit more soon. But I can do this.
See that she looks back to you again and places her hand on yours.
I am proud. And you should be too.
Thank you. May I hug you?
Of course.
Yeah, Yursa just kind of like clumples into her arms and gives her a really big hug.
You didn't notice, but as you go to hug her, she's about 9 feet tall.
Oh my god.
So you just
Earth mommy, what?
yeah.
Say less.
There is a radiant warmth from the hug, and there are actual petals of flowers that start to grow, and like almost like they are hugging you as well.
Yeah, she'll probably stay in that embrace for a little while. I feel like she needed that.
Okay.
But eventually she will kind of pull away, kind of like wiping the tears from her eyes as Kayla blows her nose really quick. From her own sobs. Yrsa would just say, "Thank you so much for trusting me and believing in me and taking the time to be here. I am starting to realize why things have happened the way that they did, and I think that it's okay that some flowers have some thorns."
Of course.
Thank you.
Sleep well, Yrsa.
She nods.
And with that, the vision fades, and you get a. Well, the vision fades, and you wake up the next morning from your trance that is in your room. And surrounding you are multicolored leaves and flowers and mossy vines that create this kind of bed around you. And this sweet scent of honeydew and lavender.
Yeah, I think for the first time in a while that she feels like she can actually comfortably rest in a very peaceful place that is very familiar to home and soothing. She would just kind of lay down and re-enter that trance, and she kind of has her bracelet in one hand, and she has that necklace in the other hand.
Okay. So, you all wake up the next morning. And you hear above, "Land ho!" And you guys get up and go up, or just take your time. What are you guys doing?
Rin definitely takes his time.
It's not noon.
Not. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Enid's in bed.
Basil's gonna run up there.
Yeah, I think Yrsa would too.
Yeah.
Okay. What you see in front of you. If I can find where I was trying to find. There we go. You see in front of you a large, expansive port city. You see a massive lighthouse off to the side that shines this very bright, almost daylight-like light around. Even though it is daytime, you can see this. You see a large, expansive cobblestone dock with hundreds of ships ported here. You see a city in front of you, walled entirely around. You see something that kind of looks like this.
Ooh. Very cool. Pretty.
Oh. At this point, the crew starts to raise the sails, trying to slow down the ship, as eventually, after about 30 minutes, some ships leave the port and the ship goes in to dock. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning right now.
You can see Rian looks around the deck as they're approaching, and he doesn't see Umbra.
And he's going to say, well, it's a pity she isn't here, because I'm really sorry for what's about to happen next. And he's going to go down below deck, and he's going to look around, and he's going to say, man, you know what one of my favorite things was? One time they slept in. Let's see, where's some water at? And he's going to find like a barrel of water, and he's going to get a big old bowl, and he's going to scoop some up.
Okay.
No.
All right, so he's got the bowl of water. He's going to go to
Yeah.
Enid's door. He's going to knock. He's going to like kick his foot on the door. Enid, wake up.
He does not answer.
Enid, wake up.
No.
Last time. Enid, wake up.
Nope.
Okay. All right, I'm coming in. And he's going to go to open the door.
I mean, it's locked.
Okay.
Did you do that one, did you, buddy?
Good for you. Rian has thieves' tools, so he's gonna set down the bucket of
Oh my
water
God,
and say,
determined.
"All right, well that's fine." And he's gonna pull out the thieves' tools and say, "I'm giving you one final chance. You can either wake up or suffer my wrath." And he's gonna try and pick the lock.
Do you wake up, Enid?
No, I'm waiting on you.
All right.
All right.
She's not getting up. She's stubborn.
Well, it's a very rusty old
Mm-hmm.
lock on a door in a ship. It is difficult, I will say, because it's funny. One of the soldiers walking by just looks down and goes, "What are you doing?"
Do you have a key to this room?
He goes up above the door and pulls down a key.
Thank you. My vision isn't what it used to be. He'll put the thieves' tools away. Thank you. You can be on your way.
This is violating so many HR.
Rules. He's supposed to be protecting Umbra.
He is. She hasn't said anything. She could be dead. He's just making sure.
Right.
Yeah. So he's going to take the
Definitely
key. He's going to unlock. And he's going to open the door. And he's going to, with the door open, before he walks in, he's going to say, I'm giving you one last opportunity. Either come out now with your hands up, or it's over.
She will, go to the door. Have you opened the door?
I think it cracked. It's like cracked.
Okay, she will go to the door and be like, no, shoves it.
Okay, he's going to put his foot in the door, so she can't close it all the way. And he's going to try and open it. And if he can't get it open...
Probably stronger than her.
I mean,
so
yeah, I
probably
believe
can.
your strength score is much higher than hers.
Well, my strength score is 13.
Oh.
Your strength. Oh, okay.
Rian's
Well,
Well, mine's
Dexy
10.
boy. Oh, okay.
She's Dexy, though. Is it a Dex check?
no, it's a strength.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Rian will just, as you try and close the door, Rian will just push it open, and as he just barely gets in, he'll look at you with a big smile and say, good morning. You missed training. And he'll splash her with the water. I'll see you above deck. And they'll walk away.
I don't-
Sarah, and she's gonna run after him.
Okay.
But you're going to have to catch
So-
me, and he's going to run.
Yeah, she'll just keep running after him.
So you both run up to the top, and you both see the city in front of you. You can hear just from here the market bustling on the docks itself. Fishermen, tradesmen, all sorts of people here. Here, what's this one?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know either. We're just gonna try it out, you know?
They try it.
No, that's
Wait.
not the sound effect.
Oh, no. Oh, you don't have the one. Okay, never mind. I don't think you have that
It's okay.
pack.
It's okay. Because I have this one. You can see individuals with carts running through the docks. You can see that there are many guards. There's this gate that leads into the city proper. People start to, after the gangplank is put down on the ship, people start to disembark and get off, you do watch those soldiers are not stepping off with their black attire and cloaks. They're stepping off with what looks just regular sailors' cloaks or clothing. So, all of you, welcome to the city of Shredina.
Woo!
Where are you guys headed?
I wasn't prepared for this. I thought we were gonna.
I know, I wasn't either. I mean, should we find a place so we can, like, talk about Basil's father plan in private? Or was there another thing we needed to do in this town before then?
I don't think so.
Should we just find at least like a place to stay for the time being, or like rent a room so we can all talk? Or
Probably the best.
Yeah.
So we have like a home base while we're here.
yeah.
I like this place. Seems nice.
John, what is the cheapest but not horrible section of the city for travelers?
For tourists.
I mean, High Point is definitely where the money is, and then Bright Ridge, obviously. Eastgate is the slums, basically, outside of the city. The dock, everything else is relatively well priced. It is not as bad as Eldon when it comes to money.
I think we should go to Haysong. Because of the
Sure.
name only.
His song is cute.
Okay. So, what I will say, as you all disembark from the ship and head into the city of Shredina, the great port city in Ephira, half owned by the Dagrim Empire and half owned by Eastvaria, you make your way in, headed towards somewhere to sleep for the night, or a tavern to get drink and talk about the upcoming events that will be happening. And that is where we're going to end the session.
Hey, all right. Look at that. Wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Hope that you enjoyed our wonderful session this evening. Be sure to tune in on Saturday for the continuation of the Isles of Oberyon, next Sunday for Buried Time, next Tuesday for the continuation of the Salamander Coast, or next Wednesday for the continuation of the Tales of Evrand. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Meow.